Hello, everyone. I know I'm on vacation, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity of talking to you about Davening on Tu BeAv, dedicated to the memory of Lucy Maya and Rena D. The 15th of Av is a day in which the Maharil says in the Ramah Paskins, we don't say Tachanun, and we Jews are usually happy with that, we don't ask any questions. But b'chol if we skip Tachanun this morning, maybe we should say something about that experience. So the Mishnah says, Lo ayu yamim tovim li Yisrael ki Tu BeAv v'Yom HaKippurim. There were no more happier days for the Jewish people than the 15th of Av today, and Yom Kippur, which is fast and coming. And the question is, why? What makes these days more happier, say, than the Simchat Beit HaShoeva that was in the Beit HaMikdash, on which the Gemara testifies, Mi shelo ra'a Simchat Beit HaShoeva, whoever didn't see that happiness, lo ra'a Simcha mi'avav, never saw such a happy occasion. Why are these days even happier than that? That's the question that the Ritva asks on that Gemara. Answers the Shem Mishmuel. The Shem Mishmuel from Sachachav answers that the only way you appreciate happiness is if you've experienced the opposite. Namely, when there's exactly the opposite on Tisha B'Av, which commemorates being far from God, then you can appreciate Tu BeAv, in which 6 different things happened which brought people together and you felt the closeness to God. Namely, you appreciate your car when it's in a shop for a week and you had to make do without it. You appreciate your phone when you don't touch it for 25 hours of Shabbos and all of a sudden it's permitted again. When God did exactly the opposite to us on Tisha B'Av, brought those terrible events for which we cry and we mourn and we fast, then the happiness is even greater. As we say in davening every day, Hafachta misbedi lemachol li. You have changed my eulogy into a dance. If you just eulogize someone, and a second later you're dancing, then that dance is all the more substantial than if you were resting and vacationing and then you went to a wedding. I'm not so sure that that wedding would be as substantial for you as a person who just came from a terrible event. Same thing with Yom Kippur. Indeed, on Yom Kippur, the Haftorah says the Shem Mishmuel, Mirachok Hashem nirali, from afar God was seen to me. But on Yom Kippur, all the barriers are taken away. On Yom Kippur, we literally stand lifnei Hashem in order to gain the titaru, the purity. There is no difference on Yom Kippur between standing before God in shul and standing before God at home. Everywhere you are, you're standing before God. And thus, just like on the Temple Mount, you didn't wear leather shoes, so too on Yom Kippur. We don't wear leather shoes everywhere, not just in shul, but everywhere. So indeed, Tu BeAv is a great day, because it comes on the backdrop of Tisha B'Av. Indeed, when you experience the opposite, then the happiness is all the more substantial. Wishing everyone a happy Tu BeAv.